How's it going, gamers? Chongo here, and today I'm doing a Skyrim late first impressions. Now, I wanted to do this last week, but I came up with the Zombie Survival Guide episode, so I pushed it forward to this week. So basically, I don't want to do a review of Skyrim because I've only played 24 hours and I haven't completed the main storyline yet. So I'm just going to do a first impressions, or just what I think is good about the game at the moment. Skyrim, for me, is one of the first games I've put 24 hours into the single player aspect, even though it's only a single player game. I know, blah blah blah, but it's pretty lengthy. Like, I'm 24 hours and I'm nowhere near through finishing the game. I'm only level 25. What I really like to do in Skyrim instead of the main storyline is I go and do all the guilds, like the Mages Guild, the Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, all that kind of stuff. And what's really fun about them is, even though they're not technically the main storyline, they're not really side quests either, because there's, I don't know how many quests, but I think I've done 10 quests in the Thieves Guild and I'm nearly finished that. And they're really fun to go through because it's a mini storyline within the game itself, and there's so many of them that you can do. Like, even if you don't think one's going to interest you, you can just give it a go, and if you don't like it, you don't have to do it. That's what I really like about Skyrim. You do not have to go and do every single quest because it'll be basically impossible. But the first time I ever played Skyrim was actually at a friend's house with a group of mates over, and honestly, when I was playing it, I was like meh. Because, I don't know what it is, but when you're playing like a single player storyline based game and you're with a bunch of friends, it's really hard to get immersed in it. But once I got it for myself and actually played it, like, just by myself, it's really easy to get immersed in it. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't talk to people while playing Skyrim. Like, I play in Xbox Live parties and talk to people about Skyrim all the time, but just when you've got other people sitting there watching you, you don't really get into the story as much, because they may talk or, just do whatever, and it doesn't draw you in as much as just playing this game solo, and that's what I'd recommend if you're going to get it. And one of the greatest aspects of Skyrim is just the ability to choose whether if you want to do a quest or not. Like, it's just as simple as that. You can look at the description, or just, yeah, whatever you're getting the vibe from the people. Like, if it's a basic quest, like, go find this old lady's cat, you could just be like, meh, that sounds boring, why the hell would I want to do that? And you don't have to do it, obviously. But if it's something that sounds like interesting, like some sort of conspiracy, or some, like, trying to find out who murdered someone or whatever, that may interest you, and then you can actually go and choose to do it. Even though this game has lots of good aspects to it, it still has some bugs that you may notice. Like, I was in Whiterun, and I was running around, and all of a sudden, half the ground disappeared, and I could walk under things that I wasn't supposed to, and just the surroundings were disappearing around me. And although it's not a major glitch, since you can just either load a checkpoint or whatever, or go through to a different area, and then it'll just be all good. But yeah, you'll still run into small glitches throughout the game. Now, you may see from the gameplay that when you access the menu, you have the options of looking at your map, your skills, your items, or your magic. Now, originally when I saw gameplay for Skyrim and I saw that, I just went, wow, that just looks all over the place. But when you're actually using it, like, the first time it's a bit iffy, but after that, you think, wow, it's a really good idea. Instead of going through the one menu and trying to find what you need, you've got them split up into sections, and it works really well once you've used it a couple of times and get used to it. And even though Skyrim seems and is a fantasy game, you don't have to really be a fan of fantasy to like it. Like, personally, I don't like medieval games or fantasy games, but I just love Skyrim for the storyline. So if you're someone who likes the storyline of games, but you may not think you like Skyrim like I was, because I wasn't sucked in by the hype. Like, everyone said how good it was going to be, because I had friends who basically talked about it every single day. And then, yeah, and when I finally did get it, I was like, okay, this is actually alright. But, yeah, so try it out if you haven't played it, or, yeah, if you think you do like storylines and what I've talked about may interest you, I definitely recommend you go and rent it, probably before you buy, because, yeah, if you're not sure if you like it, you shouldn't buy it first. You should probably rent it or borrow it from a friend, do whatever you want. You also have quite a large variety of different kinds of weapons you can use. Like, the majority of the time in the gameplay, you'll probably see me using a two-handed weapon, which is what I prefer. But even if you don't want to, you can use a shield and a one-handed sword or whatever, as well as you can just use magic if you want. And, like, I just use magic for usually restoring my health, but if you want, you can do that, and you can have a mixture, I suppose. But it's all up to what you want to do, and if you don't want to do stuff in this game, you don't have to. And that's what I really like about Skyrim. It's not forcing you to use a certain thing. You can just do whatever you want, pretty much. Just one last thing before I finish the commentary. My converter has arrived, so now I'm able to play games on my monitor as well as record them. So that means you'll probably see a lot more gameplays from me rather than just COD. So expect those out soon, and I'll have another episode of the Zombie Survival Guide on Friday, so look forward to that, and I'll also have a video on Wednesday. So thanks for watching. Please leave any feedback or comments below, and if you have any questions, inbox me, do whatever, and if you like this video and want to see more, subscribe. See you guys next time.